Hi, Jim Ziegler, the Alpha Dog. I have been waiting for 2 weeks for this. One of my better friends in the car business, one of the ultimate professionals in the history of the car business. How do you sell 139 cars in a single month? Here we are in the middle of December. In the winter, we got 50 out already. Who else? My friend Frank Crinite, Piazza Honda, Pennsylvania. I mean, this guy is selling cars like candy bars. He's helping other people learn how to do that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, here he comes. The speed of the internet. There he is. Hey, Frank, how you doing?
Oh, man, just when I think it can't get any better, it does. I've been waiting for this for over a year, Jim. We haven't done this for over a year. I know you used 2 weeks. It's been a great 2 weeks, like the lead up to Christmas. But I've been looking forward to this since we ended the last one. You know, it was great. So
139 cars. Now, is that genuine? I mean,
actually, hey, I want to stop you. It was actually 150 back in July, I believe it was. So 150.
How many?
150. That was one of my milestones I had to get to. Boom. Enough energy, effort, and marketing, follow up, and processes, and we were able to get there. 150 cars, one single month.
You sold 150 cars because you have such a big personal staff.
Yeah, I got a bunch of minions and elves. This time of year, the minions turn into elves, and they run around, and they're actually doing everything. So since the last time that we did talk, though, I did actually finally hire an administrative assistant. I looked to my good friend Ali for advice. Ali Reed, everybody knows Ali. Looked at him for advice, and he told me exactly what my assistant needs to be doing. So I did take on a few months ago an administrative assistant. Since we came back from COVID, we were closed about a month and a half, almost 2 months. The last week in April, with 7 days, I delivered 54 cars. May was like I think 120 something. June was 130 something. July was 150. August 138. So we're on record pace. I was closed for 2 months. We'll still do over 1,200 cars this month. I think I'm about 20 cars away from 1,200 cars for the year.
You're going to end up the year with 1,200 units out.
It's going to be a record year, even with COVID, the restrictions, everything. I didn't buy into any of that. I leaned into all of it when everybody else was pulling back and running away and, puckering up. Well, my pucker factor was to push into it and do more marketing, put myself out there even more, reach out to my customer base, come into work, even though we weren't supposed to be at work. I'd come in and, sit by myself in an office and basically make all the phone calls, or I'd barricade myself in my room for 4 or 5 hours and make sure I was touching base with all of my customer base, right? Because I've been through events like this before. 9/11, the stock market crash, the tsunami, right? I already knew what was going to happen, where the market was going to be, how used cars were going to skyrocket, how new car inventories were going to deplete very fast. So it was very important that I had my customer base ready and poised to take advantage of the market rather than the market being able to take advantage of their situation, right? So every one of my customers looks for me for guidance as a sales professional. So I always make sure that I was there to give it to them, as the world was crashing around, make sure that I was reaching out, as a friend, to be able to, answer any of their questions with, delay in payments was real big back then, the 90-day delay on the payment, all that, make sure I had everybody set up, but also make sure I had them set up to take advantage of the situation. So when we opened back up, the whole rest of the world, dealerships, salespeople, managers, were trying to figure out what their game plan was, what the process is. Well, my processes have already been made and refined for situations like this. This is how I've been selling cars for years. So I was already off and running while everybody else was still, spinning their wheels. I was already lapping everybody, right? Outsold the deal.
Pennsylvania was shut down.
Shut down, completely shut down, 100% shut down. You could not sell a car for about a month and a half.
But you still got 1,200 units out this month. I mean, this year.
I'm just shy. I checked this morning. I don't usually check my numbers much, but I wanted to see where I was at the end of November. At the end of November, I was at 1,130 7 units. My record's 1207 for the year. I think I'm about 20 something away from that. So, barring a catastrophe happening, I'm going to shatter that record with no
There are
excuse.
dealerships that don't do those numbers.
I am neck and neck with the dealership right now, myself.
Fantastic. So the rest of the dealership is neck on neck with you.
Right. But you know what? I don't compare myself to any other salesperson. I don't compare myself to a dealership. If you're worried about what other people, other things, if you're trying to compare yourself, you're never going to become the greatest version of yourself. You're just going to be trying to figure out what that person's doing or you need to become the greatest version of yourself. That's how you get better, right? Everybody doesn't have to be turned into Frank Crinite. Everybody doesn't have to turn into the alpha dog, right? To be able to scale their business and to grow their business, to the heights that they want to get to and beyond. They need to become the greatest versions of themselves, right? They need to personify, their marketing skills, what they could be on social media or community-based, right? Or a mix of both. They need to be able to handle their customers the way that they do, right? Somebody down south, that's doesn't have to handle their customer base the same way I do. That doesn't mean they can't be as or more successful than I've been able to become so far, right? So, that's really where people say, oh, well, this guy's doing that, and that guy, this girl's doing that.
You don't have to try to do my process, but you got to be true to your own process.
Right.
Whatever your process is, you have to marry your process. Right. And you are a brand within a brand. And so many people today don't understand self-branding. I know you market yourself, you're out there, you're community involved. You've got all these people, you got behind you, it says Frank's Fans.
Frank's Fans. That's how I sell so many cars. So Frank's Fans is how I sell so many cars. There's people on the stream right now that are going to say, there's no way that guy can sell that many cars. And guess what? I can't sell that many cars by myself. I don't, right? The community sells them for me. The best compliment I ever get, Jim, like this blows me away, right? This is when I know that I'm actually making an impact, right? When somebody that's never stepped foot in my dealership, has never physically met me, we've never touched, we've never really had a conversation, refers me over business, right? Because they see what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and how many happy people, right? I say, like, people, I ask everybody, I want to know where my business is coming from. Well, Jim Ziegler, sent you over. Well, I never met Jim, right? Jim's never been in my dealership. I've never sold Jim a car, but yet Jim finds it compelling to send over somebody to me because he sees my process, right? He sees Frank's Fans raving about the process and how easy it was to buy a car. Like that's when you're really starting to catch fire. Like that's when it dawned on me. I'm like, man, this is
fast and easy has always been your theme.
What's that?
Fast and easy.
Well, listen, it doesn't necessarily have to be fast. It has to be efficient, right? I don't need to rush anybody through the process. Not everybody needs to be rushed. There's certain things that have to be done in a car deal. There's certain things that people want to know and they should know, right, to be compliant and to make sure that we're giving them the right vehicle at the right price and all the other things that go into a process. It doesn't need to be fast, but it doesn't need to be slowed down, right? Efficiency is key. So if I can be 100% transparent, give you all the information for the most part that you're looking for up front, when you come in here, right, this isn't my selling process, right? It's your buying process. So I don't have anybody, when we're sitting here, it takes it and says, I don't have to go home and think about it.
Is their buying process.
I tell that to everybody, this is not my selling process. This is your buying process, right? So you get to dictate it however you want, right? The taxi cab companies for still are fighting the whole Uber thing, right? Rather than the Uber is successful, why not just come up with your own app, right? Your own new process rather than fight it. I'll never get in a taxi cab again unless I have to, right? Why would I have to call in to a place and that dispatcher tries to find me a cab, or I got to try to hail something from the corner. I push a button, it shows me who it is. The funniest thing is people say, can you call an Uber? And I always go, no, you can't call an Uber. You go on the app, you hit the button, boom, and they're here, right? So, why keep going the way of the taxi cab companies? And here's what I see, right? So I talk to salespeople around the country. I'm training a couple hundred salespeople on my own platform and a select salespeople on our Pinnacle Society platform, the top salespeople in the country, right? And the one thing that I hear a lot now that the processes have loosened up a little bit in states is the sales process is going back to somewhat of the old way of doing business, which is great for me. Okay. Which means if locally that dealerships are going back to that way, salespeople are being forced to put their customers back through that long, arduous, get control of your customer process. Guess what the business is going to do? It's going to funnel to me. So my 150 is going to be 200, right? My goals is 200 cars a month.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So, number one, are you advertising for your own customers with funds out of your own pocket, or is the dealership subsidizing you? How's that working?
I don't advertise at all. I don't spend any money on advertising for my sales.
Oh.
$0.
I knew the answer to that question, by the way.
What's that?
I ask a lot of questions to which I know the answer.
Oh, I know. $0 spent. Every once in a while, I'll run a contest or something, a little give back to my fans, like my customers, right? But that's not in the advertising part of it. I'm not running sales funnels, right? I'm not, some of these gurus out there are going to teach you how to run a sales funnel and get all these. Doesn't work. I've tried them all, right? It's because I have salespeople asking me. So I said, listen, I'll try it. I'll buy leads. I'll do this. It doesn't work. Okay. It takes so much energy and effort. I would need a whole team to go through that process. Shouldn't say it doesn't work, but it hasn't worked for me.
Okay. So, Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
Of course.
What are you doing?
I'm putting myself out there. I'm humanizing myself to my customer base, right? I'm making sure that I'm friending my customer base. I need to get in their circles. The only way I'm going to grow my business is to expand my circles. Everybody keeps your circles small. Keep your circle small. Well, you know what? If you've already made it and you want to just keep your circle small, or you're just happy where you're at, then keep your circle small. Me, I want to meet strangers. That's the way that I grow my business, right? I need to get inside their circles, right? I call it stranger danger. Remember back in the day, your parents would say, don't go out there, stranger danger. Don't talk to strangers. Well, I want to talk to more strangers to the point where I get to, like, I'm on the side of the street walking up and there's a white van that pulls up and they kidnap me and throw me in that, blindfold me. Like, I need to be kidnapped. That's how many strangers that I want to talk to, right? Because then they know who I am, where I'm at, how I do it. Just imagine if I didn't have Facebook, right? If I didn't have all these connections, I would have never met the alpha dog, right? No. We wouldn't be sitting here talking no matter how many cars that I'm selling, because there's a lot of people around the country that are doing big-ish numbers, but they're scared to put themselves out there. They don't think they need it. Well, you know what? That's okay.
I could sell a car in an elevator, and so could you.
Right. You can buy a car anywhere. Like, I don't need to come into a dealership test drive. I see something, ooh, it's shiny, it's nice, I want it. I just want it now. I don't want to have to go in. I don't want to have to necessarily test drive it. I don't want to get put through the process. I want the buy now, have the paperwork ready. I come in, they show me where to sign, boom, boom, boom. I'm out of there, take a picture. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you my referrals because you respected my time. You respected my intelligence. You made a fair profit. No problem. Congratulations. That's how business works. But we try to, like, complicate everything, right? There's somebody over here that wants to buy something. There's somebody over here that wants to sell something and build a relationship, right? And we put all these speed bumps in. We put all these process blockers in. Well, I just take a lot of those process.
Everybody do it.
What's that?
Is everybody suited to do this?
Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be? I'm nothing special. I'm nothing special. Like, legitimately, like, I am really nothing special. I am not God's gift to car sales. Okay, I'm not the best looking guy in history, right? I'm not the best talker in history. I don't, I'm not the best. Right?
I've always said I know people that are uglier and stupider than I am making more money.
Right. Yeah. So I just trust. I've sold myself so hard on my process that you have no choice but to believe in it, right? And then I have proof of concept hundreds of times over. 14 cars on Saturday, right? Go on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. Everybody's on there. Who's next? Already getting referrals from those people on Saturday, right? I'm going to win.
Do you reward referrals?
Of course. Everybody has to have a piece. Everybody has to have a piece.
Okay, so we're talking a bird dog network.
$100, yeah. Pennsylvania sent $100. Most people would send you the customers anyway, right? I mean, that's where you get to the point where most people are going to send you the customers anyway. But as a thank you, I don't just send the check out, right? Here's where a lot of people, they like you, right? But here's where a lot of people drop off. They don't say that the three magic words. I appreciate you, right? So my referrals, I send a video like 80% of the time. It should be 100, but I get real busy sometimes. I don't have the time to do it every single time, but I send a personal 30-second video. Jim, thank you so much. You sent Mark in. Great process, was happy as could be. He's already referring me in a customer this Wednesday. I can't thank you enough and tell you how much I appreciate you and you trusted me with your family. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate it. Boom. Just send that.
I never sold on your level. I mean, we didn't have the technology, the wherewithal. We didn't have the organization. You know, I sold 30 cars many months, but the Bird Dog Network was always. And one thing I found out is I never told the people in advance I was going to give them money.
Yeah, a lot of people.
The first one.
I get those texts all the time. Hey, thank you so much. I just got a check in the mail. I knew nothing about it and I didn't need it, but thank you so much. You know what I mean? So yeah, just say, hey, go out to dinner on me. You know what I mean? Buy whatever, you know, but thank you. I appreciate you. That's what
I see these people all the time. I'll give you $200 if you send me a customer. No, people never do it. They think they're selling out their friends. But if they send you somebody because they like you, trust you, and believe in you, and then you reward them, all of a sudden you've created a referral source for life.
It's a win-win.
Exactly.
It's a win-win-win.
Because they like you. The first one because they like you. That's been my philosophy.
Well, you have to go over and above everybody's expectations when they're here buying a car, right? I ask everybody before they leave, did I do a great job for you, right? And before COVID, shake their hand, look them right in the eye. But I ask everybody, I want to know, did I do a great job for you? And overwhelmingly, 99.999%, I can't even believe I bought a car. Thank you so much. It was the greatest process. You know, you had me in and out. You went through everything. We didn't shortcut stuff. I appreciate it. And you know, that's when you earn the right to ask to get into their network. That's when you earned the right to ask for referrals, right? You have to earn that. It's not expected when you buy a car, right? That, hey, I sold you a car, now refer me somebody. As salespeople, you have to understand, you have to earn that right, right? You don't just because you sold something and, you know, that person now in the CRM is your customer, it doesn't mean you earned the right to A, keep them as a customer, you know, B, get in their networks, infiltrate their circles, become part of their network eventually, and then ask for referrals. You need to earn that right. So every time I make it the best experience that anybody's ever had buying a car, so that I know I've earned the right to ask for that, right? But some people are, you know, indignant. Oh, I sold them a car. I should get referrals from them. And you know, that's not the way it works. It's not the way it works.
As a consultant and as a manager in dealerships, I always created what I call the executive team. My executive team were the top producer salespeople, much like you've got a group that you're mentoring.
Exactly what we're doing, because their processes are different, right? So I'm teaching salespeople all over North America right now. You know, 200 and some in my Frank's Elite group, right? They're from, you know, just starting out in the car business to been in there for years, selling anywhere from 8 cars up to, you know, whatever cars. And then we have our Pinnacle society that is, you have to average 25 plus cars. You have to either be right. You have to be a heavy hitter because the processes are different at that level. The levels we're trying to
Pinnacle society for the high producer, the successful, the people that have already got a track record. We're talking about the people who are up to that executive level.
Right. Well, the problem is, right, so you create this group in your dealership, right? You say, hey, Jim's selling 30 cars, right? Jim must have it figured out. And then what happens? None of the attention, none of the training, none of the resources go to Jim, because everybody thinks Jim has it figured out. Well, Jim only has it figured out to the max level that you think he has it figured out to, right? There's another level and another level and another level, but there's nobody training the top salespeople in the country.
How many times have I said that?
How to level up.
How many times have I pointed that out? You got a constant, ongoing training of existing people.
But here's the thing, right? So you can only train to the level that you can understand, right? So without reading in a book, the people that actually have the experience, right? So Jonathan Dawson, one of the most cerebral human beings I know, psychologist, like the most phenomenal person I know, greatest guy in history, will do anything for you. Just do not ask him a question unless you really want the answer, because he's going to give it to you, right? Ali Reedith, one of the top car salesperson, the GOAT, okay, and one of my best friends in the world. And then, you know, what I've humbly did at my level now, right? But I've grown through every single level. So I'm not somebody that's taken this and reading into the book, or I did it, you know, X number of years ago. I'm scaling now, right? So the way that I'm scaling my business is relevant to the way that you're going to need to scale your business. So that's why we partnered up and came up with the Pinnacle Society, that it's no longer lonely at the top, because at a lot of dealerships for the alpha dogs, it's lonely at the top, right? You get left alone and then you get stuck at 30 cars. Like, that's it. Like, people are like, man, 30 cars. And you start believing that. That's the worst part of it. You believe that the pinnacle is what everybody else is putting the ceiling at for you, right? You got bank reps coming in. Oh, Frank's a heavy hitter. He sold 50 cars. You know, this guy, that people, oh, your name's all over the place. Well, I knew there was something greater. I knew that 100 cars was achievable. As soon as I stopped listening to all the people that were telling me how great of a job I was doing, and figured out how to scale my processes, my marketing, my whole game, that's when it opened up for me. All right. So one of the biggest things is stop listening to all the people around you tell you how great you are. Do not read your own press clippings. Right. Close the damn paper. Get out there. Rocky 1 every day. You have to stay hungry.
Fantastic. Now, Facebook. Let's get back to Facebook a second. I heard something a minute ago that sunk in with me. Your customers are in your Facebook, or you're in their Facebook. How's that work?
It works phenomenal. I humanize myself to my customer base, right? You buy a car, you just gave me all your personal information, told me all your problems. I helped you out, right? We became friends. We talked about our families. Well, the next step from there is on your personal Facebook page, you need to friend that person while they're there. Accept the request. Take a picture with this nice background. Make a big deal out of it. Celebrate it. Have them share it out. Take it to the next level. Here's what I see. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your business. If you have any referrals for me, that would be great. No, by the way, please give me a good survey. I need it for, and I'll never follow up with you ever again. No. That's average. We're below average, and that's all you're ever going to be. So is this easy? No. Anything worth it's not easy, right, Jim? You need to actually press in to the market. You need to get yourself known. You're running for office. I am running for office, the mayor, every single day, right? I need to get out, shake hands, kiss babies, constantly show up, put myself.
Okay, every day you're running for mayor.
And show
one thing I know about Frank Crinite is every one of your deliveries is a celebration.
It's a celebration. It is.
Every one of them.
We do this.
You got the screen in the back of you. You're doing the videos. You're doing the photographs. You're signing the people up in your Facebook at delivery. I mean, it is a celebration. And it's a celebration not only of the car, but a celebration of the relationship.
Right. It has nothing to do with me selling another car. I am not celebrating me, right? And this is what a lot of salespeople do. They celebrate themselves on Facebook, or they even worse, they don't tag the customer, right? They don't friend the customer. Oh, I got 37 likes. Well, your mom, your aunt, your couple coworkers, and the same 37 people, you're wasting your time, your energy, and your effort. You should be doing something else. You should just be hitting the phone all day with the 5 minutes that you did to do that post. That just went off into the abyss of Facebook and did nothing for you marketing or advertising wise. Zero, zilch, not a thing, right? Likes, all they are is monopoly money. You need to know how to convert that monopoly money into real dollars. That's where the magic's at, okay? Not all this engagement, right? Engagement's awesome. It doesn't mean anything until you actually turn it into business, right? And that's what everybody misses, right? It's like, oh, I got 137 likes on there. What did you do with those? Right? I got 37 comments on there. What'd you do with those 37 comments, right? So they're the things I teach the next level that you'll never see what we're actually doing on the Facebook, right? You just, oh, he's getting a lot of engagement because he knows a lot of people. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't necessarily work that way.
You know, one thing about it, you got to have relevant people in your Facebook, you know, your circles, your inner circle, your outer circle, your way outer circle, you know, relevant people. I love people from China and India and Indonesia, but I don't need them in my network. I mean, they can't help me.
You need to be able to buy from you or refer to you in your geographic area, or somebody that used to live in your area that still knows people in your area. The worst thing I see is all these car sales, and then I click on it and it says 137 mutual friends in this group. Well, I don't need to be friends personally on my Facebook page with car salesmen across the country. I don't need to become the most popular car salesman among car salesmen to sell cars. Now, with other things I have going on, yes, I do. But to sell cars, I don't. So you shouldn't be friends unless somebody's doing something like inventive, right? Or something you're like, wow, I want to put that into my process. Then you follow that person, right? Other than that, you don't want to clog up your feed with them because the algorithm is going to say, hey, this person's going to see it, that person's going to see it. I don't need
relevant people. Now, my customers are car dealers. My customers are car managers. I mean, so
right. And so are mine at this point too. But as I'm growing and scaling my business, right? Not everybody's teaching how to sell cars and how the processes of marketing. As a salesperson, right? That's not the way you should be doing it. The only way you should be following anybody else in the car business is they're doing something special or something that you think that you want to put in your process. That's the only way you should be friends. Or if they're local, I have a lot of local car dealerships that I do business with that send me customers, right? I got my buddy up at Jeep, Mike McVeigh. I send him customers all the time. I don't always have the right product here, right? But I know that he's going to take care of my customers with the same care, the same, process somewhat that I do, right? And he sends me customers too. Like I have a whole network of car salespeople that I get referrals from, right?
Okay, so I did that, and I understand a lot of people that are super successful do that, refer people to other dealers. I mean, you don't always have the product they want. I mean, if I've got a customer that comes in my Honda dealership and is dead set on a Dodge Ram, and a brand new one, I've got somebody that sells brand new Dodge Rams.
Why wouldn't you refer it over?
Yeah.
Reciprocal business is where a lot of business is missed. Reciprocal. It's where a lot of business is missed.
No envy. I want everybody to be successful.
When people meet me, they're like, man, you're not the person we thought you made. I'm like, well, what do you mean? They're like, oh, we thought you were like, going to have this big ego or have like this whole like crew of people that followed you around all day. Listen, I want to say I'm as humble as it comes. No, right? But I'm not cocky, right? I'm not conceited. Do I have a little bit of an edge to me? Absolutely. Sometimes you have to, right? Just from where I'm from, right outside of Philadelphia, everything. But you need to stay humble, right? You need to grow your business. You need to endear yourself and humanize yourself to your customer base, to your clients, to other people in the industry that are local to you that would want to send you business. And the way you do that is you reach out to them, right? You build a relationship and you do reciprocal business. I can't just get, right? I need to give. So I give a lot of business now, not a lot because I'm able to take care of most of my clients, but not every single one of them. At this point, do I have the right vehicle for them? But I have a guy, I have a girl, I have a connection that I still want to be the connector, still need to be the plug in the process. And then you'll get more reciprocal business. And if you help somebody I have people reach out to me. I say, listen, just use me as a resource, right? Even if you don't purchase a vehicle for me, I want you to make sure we have a connection with, Carl. Carl sent over you. I want to make sure that you're getting taken care of. Even if you're not buying a car from me, you want to make sure everything's on the up and up or bounce it off me. I want to be your resource. I want to be your guy in the car business. I say, wow, like, that's awesome. You've never met me and you'll help me even if I'm not getting a car from me. Yeah, because I understand the power of that relationship. I understand the power of being the plug that I just sent over to somebody over at the Dodge dealership. I understand how to market that aspect of it and to build a relationship to get business from that customer and reciprocal customer. Because at that point, that customer, if they had a great experience, they almost feel indebted to you, right? They almost feel like they owe you. They don't, but they almost feel like that. But, so that's one of the other ways that I get business.
Well, I have always taught to reach out in the community and generate your own business. And so many people, I know you get it, but so many people don't get that. The prospecting, self-promotion, community involvement. People don't get that.
How do you reach out in the community right now when everything's closed? Ooh, that's where I'm winning right now, right? Because I'm already in everybody's network. I'm in your social network, right? So there is no more big gatherings, right? There is no more sponsor this and show up with 500 people and hand out a pen with your name on it, right? So I'm able to be in everybody's network virtually, inbox, on Zoom meetings, in every single platform that I need to. This is what I'm saying, where everybody else is still trying to figure out what the process was when, COVID, we finally opened up. I was already running, Jim. This is why I set the world on fire in the last 6 months, right? 120, 138, 150. We're going to do 100 plus cars this month. We're probably going to work maybe 20 working days in December, and we're going to sell 120-ish, if not 150 cars, depending on if I work the whole last week of the year, to shatter my number, to shatter my record, right?
How are you stacking these people up, Frank? I mean, there's got to be a line waiting to see you.
No, not at all. There's not a line at all. Saturdays are really busy. We have, if you're going to be here a while and we're stacked up, I'll put a dealer tag on the car, get all the information. I'll buy you dinner or send you out. We'll bring you back the next day.
You'll buy him dinner, send him out, put a dealer tag on the car.
Yeah, I'm not scared they're going to go somewhere else. They've already had the greatest process in history. They're already ready to buy the car. Dealerships are so scared. They have to control the process. Jim, you're not controlling me if I'm buying something from you. I'm going to tell you why. You're not controlling me, right? I don't care if it's a piece of furniture, a pencil, a car, a house. If I don't feel comfortable, I'm out, okay? If it doesn't feel right, I'm not doing it. So I'm going to ask everybody, listen, we're a little bit backed up right now, probably not going to be out of here for like 2.5, 3 hours. Did you want to take the car, come back after lunch, or would you want to make an appointment Wednesday or Thursday? Whatever it is, it's your buying process, not our selling process. I don't want to force you to sit here. You let me know what you want to do, and we're going to make it happen. Wow. Unbelievable, right? So this way I don't have
everybody in Springfield, Pennsylvania knows you.
Well, if they don't, that's my fault.
I mean, everybody knows you. I've already, before I met you the first time I researched you, I looked at you. Is this guy real? Everybody, is this real? Is this real?
He's real.
He's real.
He's here. It's so funny. Like, I got people that this guy, it's all BS. He has all these people working for him. Listen, let me tell you something. There's 150 employees here, right? My dealer group is one of the biggest dealer groups on the East Coast. My owner, Tony Piazza, the Piazzas, great people, love them to death. Been with them for almost 21 years now. They would not let me come on here and tell you what I'm doing if I really wasn't doing it. There is ex-employees that used to work here that not everybody liked me, okay? They'd be on telling you that it's BS, right? He has all these people doing everything for them. It's not. These are not hired actors. When I take 14 pictures on a Saturday, right? Everybody's, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? These are legitimate customers. It's happening. This does happen. If I can do it, it can be done. All right? Like I'm saying, I'm not the greatest thing that's ever happened to the car business, right? I'm not some super slick salesperson, to my credit. That's probably why people come back and buy cars from me, right? Because I'm not. I don't give you the whole salesy routine that has gone the wayside, right? Right now, you're winning with efficiency and transparency. Don't waste my time and respect my intelligence, right? That's why. And this is like, to me was when I'm going through and I'm seeing my algorithms and my customers, right? And it's like 65% of my customers last year were female, right? Came in, bought a car, female. Like I have a thing, you can see what it is. And I think it was Lisa Copeland, or I forget who it was, that asked me, why do you think that is? I said, because I'm transparent. I give you all the information up front, and I respect your time, and I respect everybody's intelligence, right? It doesn't matter to me if you're a boy, a girl, a dog, an alien. There's no reason to treat anybody differently, right? Just give everybody the information that they're looking for, make it easy for them, and just sell yourself, and it works out great. It works out great. And until somebody can prove me wrong, I'm just going to keep doing it this way.
Well, dynamic. Now, do you have to desk deals through a manager? Are you doing your own deals? How's that working?
Since COVID, I've been desking a lot of my own deals when it gets really, really busy. I have a great management staff here, very supportive, so I can just like a short order cook, run in and tell them what I need, 3610 lease numbers, and they know how to do everything for me. Boom, print it out how I like it, ready to go, right? But a lot of times I like to desk my own deals. It's just easier for me. It takes another step out of the process of waiting and have to explain to somebody what I need. If I don't know how to do it by now, then nobody does. I mean, I've sold close to 17,000 cars in the last 21 years, right? So like if I don't know how to do it, like who does, right? So not saying I don't need people to help me do it at some point, but it's me desking my own deals has actually really changed the efficiency of the process, to the credit of my buddy Ali Rita, who we have a lot of conversations, but that was one of the things that he does that I need to do now. He does it, all his paperwork and everything too. He actually has a little bit of a team that helps him, 2 assistants that help him do his paperwork and everything. I have a finance manager in the state of Pennsylvania to be licensed and all that stuff. So he does I have one guy that does all my paperwork for me, keeps me compliant, keeps me in check, dots my I's, cross my T's, makes it a lot easier for me to do it. But yeah, I am desking a lot of my own deals.
Fantastic. What else would you say to this audience? Now, this is going to be on my private platform, the Alpha Dog on Demand. It's going to be all over the internet. We're channeling people to Frank's Elite and Pinnacle Society. What other message do you want to get out today?
No matter where you're at in the business, right? No matter what level you're at, find yourself a coach, find yourself a trainer, whether it's me, whether it's Jim, whether it's Ali, whether it's one of the other people that are out there doing it the right way, right? Me and Jim had a conversation off camera earlier. The greatest thing about the world today is there's so much information out there. The worst thing about the world today is there's so much information out there.
Some of it is so bad.
You don't know what to believe, who to trust, or who to invest your time and energy with, right? So do it to somebody that invest your time, invest in a coach, invest in a trainer that's actually done it or is currently doing it at the level or levels beyond that you want to be, right? That's how you grow. If you're a professional athlete, how do you get to the next level, right? You have a coach, you have a trainer, right? You have somebody that you show up, you practice with the team at the dealership, your Saturday morning meeting, but then you also, the elite athletes, about every athlete has their own personal coach, right? Their own personal trainer to get them to the next level. They're already at the highest levels. They're already making millions of dollars, but they're getting to the next level because they believe in themselves. They want to grow their craft. They want to grow their talent. So don't just rely on watching free YouTube videos, right? Don't just rely on audiobooks. Rely on somebody that's actually doing it now and that's relevant in the car business to be your coach. I'm not saying just, let me be your coach. That's awesome. If you want to be and you go through this and you say, man, I really want to hear what Frank has to say, awesome, right? Jim, same thing. Just find yourself a coach. Find somebody that's going to be able to teach you how to get rid of the negativity that surrounds a lot of dealerships, right? A lot of the obstacles that are thrown at you every single day, the distractions of the day. Find somebody that's able to teach you how to market yourself other than just the dealership, right? How to grow your own business. Most of the dealerships have enough business funneling to them. I need business funneling to me, right? The Piazzas, they're probably already billionaires. We own almost 30 dealerships. God bless them. I love them to death. They love me. We have a great relationship. They support me. I'm very loyal to them. I need business coming to me, right? So I need everybody to know what I do, how I do it, and where I do it. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the organization. It's a win-win for the sales managers. It's a win-win for the customer. It's a win-win for me. When everybody's winning, that's when it works, right? If people aren't winning, if somebody feels like they're getting taken advantage of, whether it's an ownership, a management, a salesperson, or a customer, it's never going to work. You're never going to grow your business, no matter what business you're in. I don't care if you're selling AirPods, you're selling whatever. If somebody feels like it's not a win for them, you're doing it wrong. Okay. So find yourself a coach, find yourself a mentor, find yourself somebody that can actually get you to that next level and beyond of where you even think that there's possibility, right? 100 cars a month. People are sitting back saying that's not even a possibility for me. Well, how do you know until you actually unlock that part of your mind that tells you it's not, right? Because you can't unsee it. Once you see it, my buddy Ali says, you can't unsee it. Once you see 200 cars a month that he did back a couple Decembers ago, you can't unsee that. It's there. It's done. It happened. Once somebody runs a, whatever the world record time in the 100, when somebody said it couldn't be done, Usain Bolt, well, guess what? I seen it. It can be done. So find yourself a coach, the right coach. That's my tip for everybody.
And get rid of your side hustle.
Listen, the side hustles should be growing your business, right? The side hustle. Now, that's not saying you shouldn't be investing, right? I have 7 businesses that I'm either invested in or working with, right? So you need different streams of income coming in, but like if you're selling cars and then going out and bartending at night, if you're selling cars and then doing something that's counterintuitive to you growing your business where you could be investing more time, this is the greatest business in the world that you don't need an education for, right? I am not that heavily educated. I graduated high school. I went to college for like a month. It was like a social scene to me. I got out of it because I didn't want to waste my parents' money, right? And I got into car sales. This is the greatest business in the world where you can generate unbelievable amounts of income. You can grow yourself personally out into the community, the network. Then you can take that extra business that you're getting and give back, right? My goal is to write bigger and bigger checks to my charity every single year. Like that's why I want to win and win bigger. That's my purpose. My purpose is to keep growing, to get to 200 cars a month so I can write a check with more commas in it. Rather than just write it with 1 comma in it, I want to be able to write it with 2 commas in it. That's my purpose right now.
Frank, it's a pleasure. Once again, I'll have this all over social media before the day's out. I'll have it on my personal Alpha Dog on Demand site. It'll be on LinkedIn. It'll be on YouTube. I hope we continue this relationship and get some more videos between you and me in the future.
I love you, Jim. Anything you need from me, man, I always got your back 100%. I appreciate you, everything you've done and are doing currently for the car business. You are a legend, and I appreciate you. I'm glad to say you're in my circle, and man, I couldn't be prouder to have you as a friend.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes, sir.